Hello, I'm Ash's Pokédex. Today I will tell you about Charmander and all its evolutions. He is one of the starting Pokémon of the Kanto region. Charmander in Japanese and in the name sounds like Hitokage. It was created by Ken Sugimura and first appeared in the Pokémon Red and Blue games. In the anime, it first appears in episode 11 of season 1. Under the name Charmander Abandoned Pokémon, this series was one of the most touching and emotional. This series taught us to love and care for those whom we tamed, to help animals in trouble, to intercede for those who are weaker than us. It is not difficult to guess that after this series it was the Charmander that became for many the most favorite Pokémon. I'll talk about its anatomy. Charmander fire Pokémon similar to a dinosaur, namely theropod. He is up to 65 centimeters tall and weighs up to 8.5 kilograms, with powerful hind limbs and small forelimbs. Walks on the hind legs. The front can use as hands. There are fangs on the upper and lower jaws and large sharp claws on the paws. Like dragons and fairy tales and legends, Charmander and can breathe fire. It goes like this. Inside the lungs of the Pokémon is a gas that ignites already outside the body. It can be gaseous phosphoric hydrogen, which itself ignites on contact with oxygen. A flame burns at the tip of the Charmander's tail, the size of which indicates the health of the Pokémon's strength. If it goes out he will die. But this fire is not so easy to put out. It's not the usual fire from a match or lightning that hits a tree. This flame is part of the body of the Charmander. There is even a theory that this mechanism serves to regulate the exchange of the flammable substance itself in the body. There is also a theory, according to one of the hypotheses, the flame appears when supreme burns, which the digestive system produces from plant foods. The muscles of the sphincter, at the end of the tail, controls the supply of fuel. That is, in other words, the Charmander farts with fire all the time. They live alone in the main Kanto region. Sometimes they can be found near volcanoes, but most live with Professor Oak. Charmander himself wanted to travel with Ash, after he stood up for him, protected from the evil master who abandoned. And in general these Pokémon are very friendly, but the closer they are to evolution, the more aggressive and more willing they are to fight. Charmanders of the female and male sex are almost indistinguishable from each other, but I can say with certainty that Ash's Charmander is a boy, because in one of the episodes, when he has already become Charizard, he meets Charla through a girl. She has a bow tied on her head, and tries to impress her. In 1999, Charmanders were particularly popular, although in America their name caused some public outcry. It has been claimed that the name Charmander, which is actually a combination of the words char and salamander, meant a life without a god. Many didn't like it, but overall this Pokémon was one of the most popular. Now let's move on to the attacks. They mostly attack with fire, such species as a fiery stream, a fiery whirlwind, a fiery rain, hot coals. He also has the ability to rage. The harder he is attacked, the more damage he has received, the angrier he becomes and the stronger he begins to attack. Of his basic attacks: claw attack, bite, frontal attack. In episode 43 called The March of the Executors, Charmander, wanting to stop the executor herd that moves and destroys everything around them, attacks them with fire, and transforms into a Charmilion. And unlike the friendly little Charmander, Charmilion immediately manifests itself as an aggressive personality. He immediately stops obeying and does not follow his commands. In Pokémon games on Game Boy, until the trainer gets a certain number of badges, he can't order a slightly higher level Pokémon attack. Perhaps this can also be considered one of the reasons that he refused to obey Ash. Official sources state that Charmeleon is simply trying to evolve as soon as possible. Therefore, he constantly gets into a fight, and wants to gain more experience. It's no wonder that literally after a short period of time in a series of prehistoric Pokémon attacks, Charmeleon evolves Charizard to defeat Pterodactyl. Charmeleon, in Japanese, his name sounds like Izardo. After evolution, it can reach up to a meter in height and have a weight of about 19 kilograms. On his head, a horn appears, claws and teeth become clearly larger, and it already looks more like a dinosaur. His fiery attacks become stronger. It can also attack opponents with its tail. Motel had a Charmian on the Orange Islands who helped him smelt glass figurines. In general, Pokémon flames can be adjusted. Therefore, the temperature of the fire is enough to melt glass, to melt iron. Remember how the heroes got out from Street N, but they specifically reduced the temperature so as not to cause severe harm to a person. Now let's move on to the final evolution of Charmander, Charizard. In Japanese Charizard, Pokémon Dragon Genuine and Flying type. One of the most popularized Pokémon, very strong and fast and can fly. He has huge claws, long arms, large wings. Thanks to the structure of his body can use attacks as a steel wing and seismic throw. His body is able to withstand very high temperatures. In one episode we see him sinking in lava and flying out alive and well. He is very short-tempered, as is Charmilion, at first completely disobeying Ash. Sometimes he fights at will when he sees worthy rivals. Because of his reluctance to fight, he lost a battle in the Pokémon League. He was then battling with Richie and Charizard was just too lazy to fight a notoriously weaker Pokémon. But after the events on the Orange Islands, the series in which Charizard froze Polar Dash cured and warmed as best he could, Charizard had a love for his coach and never let him down again. He later even saved his life and allowed him to fly on his back. In a series of Charizard's ambitions, Ash and his friends find themselves in a valley where Charizards live and train. It's a place that's closed off from people, in which Pokémon become stronger by fighting each other. Charizard decided to stay there to become stronger. After that, he returned to Ash many times to help in difficult fights. In the region, Unova traveled with Ash's team and his friends. He even helped stop the Plasma team and their evil plans to take control of the Vetishers. After these events, he returned to Professor Oak's laboratory, where he stayed to live. Charizard is one of the Pokémon that have a Mega Evolution. It is carried out thanks to the special connection of the trainer and the Pokémon. Thanks to special stones, in Mega Evolution, it has two forms. Shapex is a black Pokémon with a blue belly and a blue flame, which comes out of his mouth and out of his tail. The shape of the Y Pokémon is the same color as the usual Charizard, only it looks much more powerful, and on his hands grow not large wings, which greatly increase the speed of his flight. Charizard became very popular. Companies such as Hasbro Hitomi began producing Pokémon toys in 2004. Also, all the evolutions of the Charmander are present in games and Game Boys, a collectible card game. Maps with it are especially appreciated by collectors. There are toys, figures. There is a Charizard card, which at a price reach up to $60, which is a lot given that there should be 60 cards in the deck. This price is only for one. Now you can rarely meet players with Charizards. Stronger decks have already supplanted them, but there was a time when a deck with this Pokémon could win with 1-2 moves. In the next video, I'll talk about another starter Pokémon in the Kanto region. Write in the comments about whom you would like to hear. Subscribe to the channel, and remember to love your pets. Peace to all.